Are you ready for some tea? Some wedding tea? Well, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Desiree here. Did you miss me? Allow me to sit this down. I am so happy to be back with the wedding tea to share some of these ridiculous stories, this wedding drama, all of this mess that has happened to me over these last 24 plus years of planning weddings. And yeah, like I always tell you, this really did happen. So let's go ahead and get started with the newest story. This one we're going to call On My Last Nerve. On my last nerve. Y'all, listen. This story right here, let me just start off by telling you, these people to this day, this couple to this day gets on my last nerve. Yeah. It's something about even seeing their names that irks the spirit within me. So when I tell you about this story, I think you'll get a better understanding why I kind of feel the way I do. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. Allow me to give you a little bit of background regarding this couple. This was a destination wedding for them. They were traveling to the Chicagoland area to have their most special day. They were getting married here. My understanding is that the bride, much of her family lived here, but the bride and the groom, they had met in college and then they ultimately moved away and they were coming back here to have their ceremony and reception for only 50 guests. Listen, I love the guest count, all right? I loved it because this couple had a really nice budget. You would consider this wedding to be a luxury wedding based on what they were spending for their 50 guests, all right? The wedding was going to be taking place in a downtown Chicago, beautiful hotel, one of my favorites, and both the ceremony and reception were going to be taking place there. I was referred to this couple by the venue manager, all right? And nothing against her. Me and her still have a good relationship, okay? Also allow me to mention that the groom was an attorney, all right? And I have dealt with attorneys throughout my wedding planning career, all right? And when I send over my contract, sometimes they have a couple little changes or they'll have some questions, but understand this, my contract is bomb.com. It has been reviewed and approved by attorneys. So when I tell you, I send contracts to so many different people in different professions, but I will say when I send one to an attorney, usually they are going to read it very thoroughly, very carefully, and they might have a few little questions or a couple little edits or tweaks. Nothing crazy, okay? So I did what I usually do. I have our meeting and then I go ahead and send the couple the contract. Listen, I should have known when this gentleman sent this contract back to me that it was going to be a problem. Yeah, he had red line crossed out, scribbled, highlighted, you name it, he had done it to my contract. They were saying that they wanted to make sure that they were covered. Should anything happen to me or happen to my team, would they receive monies back? All of those things that as wedding planners, we hear time and time again, but all of that information is covered in my contract. I was like, hey, if you have a problem with the contract, I am not going to be able to make all of these changes. Now, I can send your edits to my attorney and see what they say, but I'm thinking we're probably not going to be a good fit for one another. I went on ahead, read through the things, and half of it again was some BS, but whatever, I'm going to take the time. And I will be honest, I wanted this wedding, okay? So after we go back and forth regarding this contract, they ultimately do sign it. All right. I was super excited. I'm ready to start the planning process. Again, they're out of state. I'm here. I get to do all the running around for them, sourcing the vendors, all these great things. And I get to use vendors that I'm super excited about. It was going to be a wonderful wedding day. I had no doubt. Well, let's speed this process up a little bit. There comes a point within the wedding planning process that the venue manager that had referred me to them decided to depart this beautiful hotel and take on another career. All right. She informed the couple that she was moving on and this is going to be your new contact. The new contact was just as wonderful. Let me say that again. The new contact was just as wonderful as a venue manager who had set all of this up, all right? This was actually the director of the special events at the hotel. So we already knew, or at least I already knew, that we are going to get top-notch service from this woman. I had no doubt. Well, here we go with the drama. The couple was not happy that they had been moved or assigned to another person. So I tried to explain to them, hey, such and such is leaving, as she had shared with you. All of your information, your files, your notes, your detailed information, all of that has been sent over to the director of the venue, all right? And she is ready. She is fully aware of what's going on. I have also downloaded information to her. So it's not going to be like there's a bump in the road. We're literally going to be able to jump right back in where we stopped at and keep moving along smoothly. They seemed to be okay with this, and I was like, all right, let's keep going. Let's keep moving along. I started to send them information regarding vendors that I thought they should hire. We're laying out the design, coming up with all of those beautiful details. Everything was wonderful. And then let's say about 3 or 4 months into the contract, the groom sends me a message. The groom wanted to discuss something in my contract that he failed to look at when he had signed it. I'm like, okay, what is going on? He wanted to let me know that he did not like the idea of me using any of their wedding photos after the wedding. Basically, a model release clause was in my contract that says any images that I take on my phone, whatever that may be, or my team takes on their phones, we can actually share those images on our social media pages, okay? He did not like that idea. It also had in there, mind you, let me not forget, is that if I was able to source photos from the photographer, that I could share those as well. Now, mind you, listen. All right, anybody who follows me on social media knows that any images I share tasteful images. I always credit the photographer as well as the vendors who are affiliated with that particular image, all right? And there are times, many times to be honest with you, in which I have not been able to share the couple due to the fact of their celebrity or their notoriety, or they have asked that I not actually share their photos. And that's okay. Share likeness of them, I should say. And that's okay. So he did not want me to share anything, though, without their approval. Listen, I don't do things to be spiteful. When a couple shares with me that they don't want me to share their wedding images, in most cases, I'm not going to do that. I'm not trying to piss somebody off. And like I've shared with you all in previous episodes, I have a plethora. I'm going to do it again. I have a plethora of wedding photos, all right? So I don't have to share your pictures. But that is always discussed at the beginning of the process, right? He's coming back now as an attorney, trying to alter the contract, trying to amend the contract. I told him, hey, I won't share any images of you and her if you like. I won't share any images of you and her. I will ask for your approval on that. But anything that comes out that looks good, happens to be the design and decor, which I am thoroughly involved in 100%, I'm going to share those images. He seemed to be okay with it and went on about his business, all right? I ultimately did get a message from the bride, though, and she wanted to reiterate that I make sure, I share any images of them with them first before I share them on my social media. Now, that was number 2 in which I should have been like, something is not right with this couple, all right? They're invested too much about what I am going to share on my social media, and we haven't even finished planning this wedding, nor have we seen the photos. We don't even know what this day is going to look like, and y'all really stressed out about if I'm going to share y'all's photos on my social media. And let me just say this. Let me just be real with you, okay? Come here. Come here a little closer. They weren't that cute. I gotta be honest with you. They weren't like some glamorous couple. They look like regular people. So y'all stressing about something that might not even appear on my social media page. Just gotta keep it real. Trust and believe. That's what I'm gonna always do on the wedding tea. But let's move along. All right. So we're in the thick and thin of the planning process. It comes to now that we need to hire the floral designer, and we've gone through a few proposals. I've had meetings with them, brought them along on FaceTime. It's time to hire the floral designer, and they are super excited about hiring this particular floral designer. All right. I sold her well. She's one of my people. I love her to pieces. And I just knew that this was going to be a beautiful wedding. Now, based on the amount of floral they wanted, the floral designer had shared with them, hey, let's do this so that we can stay within your budget. Let's mix faux and fresh flowers together. Anything that is a tall, beautiful, elaborate centerpiece, some of those flowers at the top will be artificial because no one's up there touching them or looking directly at them, all right? And anything that is going to be low on the table will be fresh flowers. As far as the arch that they wanted, based on the size of this arch and the amount of flowers they wanted, she was going to mix in, again, some faux and some fresh flowers. They were cool with this, all right? They were absolutely cool with this. They signed the contract with her, left the retainer. We went on about our business, hiring other people, all right? There comes a point in time in this planning process in which the floral designer reaches out to me and she is stressed. She is about to cancel this entire contract. I said, what happened? What is going on? She said the couple was giving her pure hell. Pure hell? Well, what? They wanted to alter that contract. They didn't want any artificial flowers. They wanted fresh flowers, and they wanted the fresh flowers at the price point in which she had shared with them in the contract. Well, the floral designer has shared with them, that's impossible. I can't give you all of this as fresh flowers and not increase the price. Like, do y'all get that? They were getting artificial flowers, okay, at said amount. They were getting fresh flowers at said amount, all right? The couple now wanted all fresh flowers at said amount, including those artificials now to be fresh flowers. Make it make sense. Y'all didn't think y'all were going to have to pay any additional money for that? They had gave her pure hell from what she shared with me. They were going back and forth in email. And listen, I was not privileged to any of this because I'm moving along planning some other things for the couple. They were reaching out to her directly to the point that she was stressed and felt harassed, that she contacted me and she said, I'm about to cancel this contract. I was like, ooh, hold on. I need you to stay in this. All right. We are partners in this. And I also knew that based on what they wanted, she gave the best price point in the city, all right? Listen, based on what this couple wanted from floral, they weren't going to get all of that for that dollar amount if they had gone somewhere else. And I had to ultimately convey that to them. They felt that, she didn't know what she was doing, that she was price gouging, that she was overcharging. And y'all, they had the nerve to speak to me about her race. Y'all, do y'all see I'm a Black woman? Do y'all see? Let me lean in a little bit more so you can see. Y'all see I'm a Black woman. So when you come to me talking about one of my vendors' race, or hell, you come to me talking about anybody's race, my antennas are going off because what are you saying about me? You felt comfortable to talk to me about this woman the way you did? Because she wasn't going to give you those flowers at the price point you wanted? We now got a problem, y'all. We now got a serious problem. That's strike number 3. They getting on my last nerve, okay? Now, after they finished harassing the floral designer, they headed back on over to the venue. Y'all, they had gave that director hell. That's an understatement. They had gave the director so much hell and had snapped and complained and just went off about any and everything, to the point that she was contacting me at night, literally sharing with me the emails and or harassing phone calls she had received from this couple. And it all boiled down to the fact is that they didn't feel they were getting what they should have received for the amount of money they were paying. Now listen, I can't understand how an attorney signs contracts with a planner with a floral designer, with an entire venue. And then after the contract is signed, you complaining about everything up under the sun and you want to change and alter and edit the contract. That's not how it works. I have not been to law school, y'all, but I know that's not how it works. This couple had even went to the point that they had contacted corporate. Yeah, not the hotel in Chicago. They had went above and contacted the parent company and literally set up a conference call with the parent company, me, and the venue director over at the hotel. They wanted to get on the phone, and this is what they did. I promise y'all. They got on the phone and they went through a laundry list of complaints that they had about this venue. I was mortified. I was in shock. Me and the venue director are literally texting as this call is going on. Like, first of all, that's a lie. That don't make sense. I never said that. This didn't happen and blah, blah, blah. They're on there making up all kinds of stuff to the point. Y'all listen. And I don't know how often this happens, but this did happen for me. The venue, the downtown Chicago hotel, luxurious hotel venue, released them from their contract. That's how tired they were of them. Let me say that again. They released them from their contract. They were just that tired, wore out from dealing with this couple. I'm like, what the? Tune in next time for some more wedding tea.